Investing in single family is dead. Hey Daniel, play the intro. Hey, how's it going, friends? So I'm Juan Pablo, and if you're interested or looking forward to scaling your multi-unit portfolio using creative financing so that way you become financially free and independent, then you found the right place. And being that you found the right place, if you haven't done so already, make sure that you hit that like button and subscribe so that way Google, YouTube algorithm can do its job and make sure that it provides you with the best content, the best material that's needed to be able to help you towards your journey, towards your goal of becoming financially free and independent. All right, so let's jump into it. So I'm gonna provide a thesis or my argument in regard to why single families are dead, especially towards your goals of quitting your 9 to 5, saying goodbye to your day job. All right, so here we go. First thing, the reason why single families are dead is because of time. If you truly think about it, it doesn't make sense, right? The same time it takes for you to buy a single family property is pretty much the same amount of time it takes to buy a 10 unit. And what's the difference between the two? Just a big fat zero. Same amount of time. So why spend so much time on a single family property for buy and hold purposes if you can reallocate that time towards acquiring a multifamily property? And I get your argument. Well, Juan Pablo, unfortunately, I don't qualify for a commercial mortgage right now. Okay, so that's the reason why I have to do residential, because being that I'm just catching my bearings, getting started, I have a few single families, or I need to get started with a few single families. That's perfectly fine. I get it. You have to be able to use the resources that you were dealt to be able to leverage those to your benefit. So I get it. If you can only qualify for a residential mortgage right now, a single family, then fine. Use a residential mortgage. However, single families are dead, meaning if you're qualified for a residential mortgage, then why spend time on a single family? Get a duplex, get a triplex, get a quadplex, right? Because the same time it takes for you to close on a single family, it's the same time, yep, you guessed it, to do a duplex, triplex, or quadplex. And what's the difference between those two? More units, all right? So I want to make sure that you're best serving your time, especially if you're in a mindset of becoming financially free, because multi-units is the fastest way to financial freedom. Now, if you want more insight about multi-unit investing, and especially using multi-units for quitting your day job, I dropped a link in the description below that leads you to another YouTube video in which I break down how you can use multifamily investing to quit your day job. Again, check the link in the description below to watch that video. Now that leads me to the second step. So outside of time, the other important factor as to why single families are dead is economies of scale. And this is what I mean by it. Once you start building your portfolio, you might be in a situation right now where you have maybe 2 or 3 single family properties. That's great. We all got to get started somewhere. But then you start to realize the management that it takes, the time it takes to manage these units, whether you're managing it, you might be self-managing your own portfolio, or you might be outsourcing to a management company, or you might be doing your own repairs, or you might be outsourcing the repairs to a handyman, a contractor, general contractor, whoever, right? But there's still management nonetheless to make sure this property is staying occupied and staying repaired. But when you have a ton of single families scattered all over town, and let's say you just have them in one location, one city, let's say the city of Atlanta, right? That's a lot of time being spent keeping these properties in shape and keeping them occupied. Because I'm not sure how you structure your payments with your team. You might be paying your general contractor, your handyman by the hour, and the time it takes for them to go to the property on South Street, to the property on North Street, to the property on West Street, to the property across town, North Street, East Street, every other street, that's more money that's being added up. So outside of you just paying more towards their labor, their time, you're also going to be paying more towards the repairs itself. Because having, let's say, 30 single family properties requires you to repair, at some point in time, 30 different roofs, right? 30 different furnaces, 30 different foundations, and it can definitely add up. So with multi-units, on the other hand, it has better economies of scale, where your time's concerned as well as where your repair costs are concerned. Sure, you might have, let's say, a 30-unit apartment building. Sure, you may have 30 furnaces, right? But if you have a 30-unit apartment complex, you just have one foundation. You may have just one roof, okay? So there's less buildings. So in other words, you're doing more with less. So that's why single family is dead. But let's go into the third reason why single families are dead. The third reason, in my opinion, why single families are dead is appreciation. Now, don't get me wrong, single families can definitely appreciate. I'm sure you're aware of this, right? But with single families, the main thing that causes appreciation is location. Sure, you can add bells and whistles to the property, make it sizzle. You can add the finishing touches to make this thing pop. So that way you can get more bang for your buck where the value is concerned. However, when you're trying to force the appreciation by how you manage that asset, you're only going to see so little where that appreciation is concerned, okay? So with multi-units, on the other hand, it's quite different, especially when you're buying 5 units and up. Because when you get into commercial properties, commercial mortgages, commercial real estate, it's a different ballgame. Because the valuation of the property is mainly focused on the performance of the asset, how you manage it. So if you do a good job buying let's say 10 units where you capitalize on the time, let's say you did a good job with buying 10 units under one roof so you capitalize on economies of scale, and then you do an additional good job by buying 10 units and you could force the appreciation by how you manage it because of the economies of scale, right? You have them all centrally located in one area in which you have one contractor going there, one property management going there. You're increasing the revenue, decreasing your costs, and you're capitalizing off the natural appreciation in the market. Let's say there's jobs in the area, location, in other words, like you get with single family. But with multifamily, you can force the appreciation based upon this, your management style, how you're able to improve the performance of the asset. And I can't stress this enough. Real estate investing is a business, and any business owner, I would say every business owner actually, they should always have 2 things in mind when they have control over a company. This is the goal of any business. You increase the revenue and you decrease your costs. And by doing so, not only do you increase your cash flow, which is more profit in your pocket so you can say goodbye to the 9 to 5 and quit your day job, but as a result of improving the performance, you're also making the asset more valuable. So that way, you can pull that value out of the property, let's say a cash out refinance, and use it towards your next deal, So every property you get, you improve the value, take out the equity, down payment. Improve the value, take out the equity, down payment. And you're buying properties on repeat like Monopoly. All right, and I talk a little bit about this a little bit more in another YouTube video, and I'll place a link in the description as well, so that way it'll be 2 videos for you to look at, and where I discuss about multi-units and how it differs from single families and how it's more so of an ideal asset for you to entertain. And it's perfect. Even if you're able to get a residential mortgage, cool, get a 4-unit, right? Be able to use the resources you have at your disposal to be able to help you get closer to your goals, all right? So as always, guys, this is to your success. I definitely want to make sure that you check the links in the description below. It just leads you to other YouTube videos. But if you're interested in more in-depth training about how you can acquire multi-units using OPM, other people's money, then guess what? I got a resource for you. However, you got to make sure you check out my ads, all right? So if you see an ad from me on YouTube, don't click that skip button. Make sure you watch the video ad in its entirety so that we get access to the free training. And guess what? There's no sales pitch attached. All you have to do is watch the ad and be able to get the information you need to succeed to become financially free. All right, guys, as always, again, this is to your success. Continue to earn passively, live passionately. Peace.